experience that's happened, and also that we have the ability to make our own choices in a way that I couldn't have said yes to you then.
Meghan Markle is ready to talk. On Friday, a new sneak peek from the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's highly anticipated 90-minute tell-all with Oprah Winfrey dropped. And Lady O revealed this wasn't the first time she tried to sit down with Meg. Back in 2018, before the couple tied the knot, Oprah said she called Meghan personally to ask if she could interview her and Harry.
You said, I'm sorry, it's not the right time. And finally, we get to sit down and have this conversation.
Well, I remember that conversation very well. I wasn't even allowed to have that conversation with you personally, right? There had to be people from the comments sitting there. Everything was...
There were other people in the room when I was having that conversation.
Yeah,
you turned me down nicely and said, perhaps there will be another time when there's the right time.
And Meghan says the right time is now.
We're on the other side of a lot of life experience that's happened, and also that we have the ability to make our own choices in a way that I couldn't have said yes to you then. That wasn't my choice to make.
She goes on to imply that Buckingham Palace had extreme control over her actions and the things she said.
As an adult who lived a really independent life, to then go into this construct that is different than I think what people imagine it to be. It's really liberating to be able to have the right and the privilege in some ways to be able to say yes.
And to say it for yourself.
To say it for yourself.
And not to have to consult with anybody at this point.
Yeah, to be able to just make a choice on your own and just be able to speak for yourself.
This new clip comes just days after an article was published by The Times claiming that Meghan bullied her royal aides.
The Times newspaper has reported that the Duchess allegedly bullied 2 members of her household staff out of Kensington Palace and made the life of the 3rd member of staff almost unbearable. Those are the allegations. They are strongly refuted by the Duchess of Sussex, who says she didn't bully anyone out of the palace.
A spokesperson for Meghan and Prince Harry has denied the allegations in a statement to ET, calling it a, quote, calculated smear campaign based on misleading and harmful information.
Meghan, who is a spokesperson for women around the world, who claims in her own statement and has spoken very publicly about being the subject of bullying. She's talked about online bullying and trolling and being bullied in the media, now having to fend off claims that she, in fact, has been a bully.
Following the allegations, Buckingham Palace announced they're launching an internal investigation.
While I think it's very unlikely that the palace is behind this, because this doesn't serve them well either, clearly there is a member of staff or a former member of staff who is disgruntled and who wants to have a different version of events put out there.
But on Thursday, some of Meghan's closest friends and celeb pals came to her defense. Suits writer John Cowan described his experience working with her on the series, tweeting that she was a warm, kind, caring person. While one of Meghan's college friends, Lindsay Roth, wrote in part, quote, Meg's MO has always been kindness. Goodwill runs in her bones. I know this to be true after 22 years of very close friendship. Janina Gavankar tweeted that the Duchess is, quote, kind, strong, open. And Jamila Jamil also spoke out, asking on Twitter if this is what the royal family is comfortable doing to a heavily pregnant woman publicly. Can we even imagine what they put her through privately? They seem terrified. Her interview hasn't even aired yet. What are they covering up?
At this point, to having a relationship with her father, I know he's never met Archie.
Or Harry.
I know. Or Harry.
Right.
I think I didn't pursue that conversation with them. From what I gather, her relationship with her father is similar to what's happening with Prince Harry and Prince William now, that there's distance there, and maybe with time things will get better. But for now, no.
One of the most striking things to me, Oprah, in this conversation was actually about Harry's relationship with his father, because both Meghan and Harry were very respectful towards the Queen. Harry kind of stayed away from his relationship with his brother, but acknowledged that there was space. But he was very specific in saying he was hurt and disappointed by his father. Were you surprised by that?
I was surprised that he was open, vulnerable, because we could feel his pain when he was speaking about his father. And the moment where he says that 72 members of parliament stood up and nobody in his family did, and that hurts. I could feel that he really deeply meant that. When I asked him, as we just heard in this interview, what would it mean to you if someone apologized? You can feel his sadness. And I think that what he said in the interview last night about continuing to work on mending that relationship is what he intends to do. But it is very sad.
You know, the thing that struck me, Oprah, and I'm not just saying this because we're good friends, but it was so conversational. I thought you were perfection. I felt like we were sitting in the room and we were just sort of eavesdropping in on a conversation, and that takes great skill. I don't know anybody who could have done this interview and certainly gotten the results that they did. And I'm wondering from them, and I'm wondering if you've had a chance to talk to them how they're feeling today, because there must have been a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress, a lot of emotion, and it must have been draining for them. Do you know how they're feeling now that it's aired and it's out there? And I'm also wondering how you're feeling, because the night before the interview, you didn't sleep, and I know that you prepared for this. I know there were nothing off limits. I'm curious about how everybody's feeling this morning.
Well, I haven't really spoken to them since the interview because we are in different
The time changes are
time
different,
zones. Yeah. I got a text from Meghan yesterday saying, "How's it going?"
Yeah, what are people saying? Yeah.
How's it going? Because she was putting Archie to bed, waiting on the West Coast feed, and had no idea what was happening on the East Coast. And I said, I don't either. From what I can tell, it's going well. I know it's airing. So I will probably have a conversation with them later on today. I'm just pleased that we were able to maintain the integrity of the interview from a 3-hour and 20-minute cut down. And I recall early on when I first approached her in 2018, and she had just joined the royal family, and she shared a conversation with me then that really made me feel somewhat disheartened, because she said she had been given advice that it would be best if she could be 50% less than she was.
Wow.
That was the quote. If she could be 50% less. And I remember hearing that in 2018 and said specifically to her, I don't know how you're going to survive being half of yourself.
Wow, I think it's
the fact that she.
I think it's important
Isn't
to say.
that something?
I'm still stunned by that.
I don't know how you ask anybody to do that.
That they were not paid for the interview, and the interview was not at my house. There's something going on about it's at Gail's California mansion.
I was wondering, I hadn't been invited.
Will called me and said, I didn't know you had a California mansion, Mom. And Tony asked, where was it filmed? He goes, looks like it was filmed in heaven.
That's it.
Where was it filmed, Oprah? Where was it? What can you tell us about where it was filmed?
It was filmed at a friend's house. I'm not going to disclose the friend because I don't want people now trying to find the friend and the friend's house.
Okay.
But I have friends.
Okay. Yes, you do. You have a lot of friends. Oprah, we got to go.
Good job.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Well
We'll be right back. You're watching CBS This Morning.